All right.
Theme music, theme music, theme music, theme music.
Theme music,
Theme music, theme music, theme music, theme music, theme music,
theme music,
theme music.
Welcome to 30 Minutes Raw with the new respect.
No, that's not what we're doing.
That's not the name of the podcast.
That is definitely a no.
Should I leave it in?
Yeah,
We'll chop that out.
I mean,
It's funny.
yeah, for the first and only.
Well, we don't have a name for this, so we want y'all to come up with the name for this. The 10 of y'all that watch this. Now, y'all are on the ground floor. This is going to be the beginning of something huge and
This
exciting.
could be the start of something new.
Can we afford that?
We
Yeah,
cannot
I know.
afford that.
But it's a cover.
Oh,
Okay.
you're right.
Yeah.
To be here with you. Oh, Jasmine, you don't know this
Well,
song?
I just don't know
Your
the parts.
start of something new.
Rewind.
Okay.
No, this could be the start of something new. There it is. It feels so right.
To be here with
I was
It's
you.
flat.
feeling like not
I
Yes.
confident.
think I was flat.
You were,
on
so
the
I didn't
earlier.
know what was happening.
Oh, welcome to the podcast or whatever. I don't
already
want
welcomed
this
them.
isn't
We've
a
already
podcast.
welcomed them.
This isn't a podcast. I don't think.
What is it?
We doing something new. We doing our own thing. This is a CAD pause.
We don't do things like everybody else. We different.
You were gonna welcome them?
No, I
Like
don't want
you were
to.
gonna do the intro?
You got it.
But I'm saying, like, what are they here for? Darius.
Don't. I feel like I'm put on the spot.
You're the one who was talking. You started talking. Have y'all had pixie sticks recently?
Yeah.
They're fire.
No, I just feel that that's just
Sugar
a lot
I know,
for me.
and there's some over there
Sugar
that I'm gonna have you try.
Really?
Not
Sure.
on the thing because we don't want to promote. You know what I mean? But
We don't want to promote.
No free promo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Promotion.
paid
Promotion.
only. Paid only.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why we are sponsoring this ourselves.
It's sponsored by the New Respects.
But
made
just
by
today,
the New
though,
Respects.
y'all can reach out by next episode.
Yeah, y'all.
Yeah.
We're more than
Feel
welcome.
free to send some stuff. We will.
We'll promote as long as it's good.
Holy righteous.
Yes.
What you got to say, Triumph?
Mm-hmm.
What else do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can end it right there.
He
That
tried
was
to lick
great.
it. Yeah.
That was profound.
But I guess I will welcome us. Welcome to the podcast. We don't know what we're doing, but we just wanted to give y'all a little peek into our conversations.
Yes, whether we're in the van, in the house.
Yeah, this
90% of the time we talking.
Yeah.
They have lots of words.
No, you're the one who's been saying the most.
No.
I'm mute, personally.
That's real. I'm just kidding.
50% of the time, I talk a lot. 50%, not at all.
But today we're going to get into a topic about a family, being that our song just came out. But we wanted to...
And I will point out, Zandy,
okay.
great job on starting a family right around that single release.
Yes.
Well
That's
done.
some
The
good
Lord
marketing.
knows.
I do remember I requested that he be born on the release date.
and he was, what, a day late?
A day late, so close.
We do things on our own timing around here in the Maury household.
Mm,
Right, Triumph?
that's right.
That would be terrifying.
He's like the little baby
Boss
on
baby?
Proud Family.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that thing.
Penny.
But we're going to give ourselves a time limit because we know we can gab and go
Yeah.
on.
And
So,
say nothing.
Jasmine, start the clock.
I did. I'll do it again.
Yeah, restart it.
And
It's 30 minutes on the clock now.
clock.
And here we go.
So like I said, family.
Mm-hmm.
We had that's our new single, but also we wanted to get into something, a dynamic in our personal family that we haven't talked about publicly before. Let's talk about the word cousin. Okay.
Let's dig in.
So obviously Darius,
Brother.
Zandy, sister, Jasmine,
Cousin.
Okay. And now when we use the term cousin, actually I remember we had a conversation. We were on a label. We were signed for a number of years, and they were like, "What? So what are you guys cousins?" And they were like, "Yes." And then we're like, now technically we're not related, but we are
But
cousins.
also, technically, we are very much cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're both one and the same. And then there was this confusion, you know what I mean, around it. And they're like, well, how can that be? And so then, sorry, let me grab my. You're all right.
Look at Xander being a mother.
I know. Wow.
Big Mama Thornton. Big Mama Z.
Big mom.
I'm like, I do love her. It's just like, I don't.
You don't want to become a big mama.
Yeah, I think that's the part that's
Big
throwing
Mama
me.
Zandy.
I can just think of the movies, and I'm like, well, But anyway, there was just deep confusion around how can y'all be cousins and not related, and so we just figured let's unpack that a little bit.
Yeah, that's good.
So as far as our relationship, Jasmine,
Yeah.
and the Fitzgeralds, well, I'm a Maury now, but our moms were friends. They were like in a Bible study before Darius and Jasmine were born, and they're the oldest. So like before we were even a thought, they were doing life together closely.
Yeah.
So then Darius and Jasmine were born. Jasmine first in November of 93. Darius January of 90.
4. Okay.
I know.
Did you not know?
I need
Well,
to.
I could never remember her year because I'm always like, because y'all had
Is
that
it like
thing.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
so I was just trying to
Okay.
do it right.
Good job. You
Yeah,
did a
I
good
got-
job.
Thank you. I tried to, but
Yeah.
y'all making me seem like I didn't.
I didn't know it was him.
Okay. So then we were introduced as like Aunt Steph and Aunt Nicole, our mom's names, was just how we
Family.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's just how it was. So I keep telling people like we also had to come to the realization that we aren't technically related as well.
Yeah.
This isn't something that we are like decided one day like okay now we cousins.
And
Right.
also
But
we're
that
gonna
is
start
a thing
with
also I've done.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
with Andrew.
as you get older, you kind of decide who to adopt into the
For
family.
sure.
You go from like friends, best friends, and then you're like, oh well,
Well, we're
family.
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 baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basic.
And that I grew up with that, obviously y'all too, being very, very normal.
Yeah.
So having to explain to people like that we're not technically related almost is offensive.
A little bit.
It's like, well, we aren't, but we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've never known a world when you weren't my cousin.
Mhm. Or when you weren't in it.
No.
Yeah.
But like I said, that doesn't mean that I have a world. I mean, that doesn't mean that some people can't graduate into cousinship.
For sure.
Because
sure.
I've definitely had that before.
Yeah, there's new
too.
cousins.
No, there's new cousins, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me feel like it's not more special because obviously your bloodline is special as well. But I'm like, you can choose family and we just go the extra mile of naming it.
Yeah.
It's not just like they're my chosen family, they're like family. I'm like,
No,
no,
this-
you are family.
That's my cousin.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's just a thing in Black culture or many minorities.
Yeah.
Don't fact. What's the word?
Fact check.
Yeah. Don't quote me on
quote.
this.
Okay,
That's what I'm
yes.
looking at. But
Don't fact check me or quote
my
me.
logic, my logic here goes back to when we were stripped of family. Like if you rewind back
Oh,
far
wow.
enough, we didn't know
You're talking about in
in
America.
slavery. Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
But hate
We
you
did-
think that you're talking about my specific family.
You're like, when did?
We were
Yeah.
stripped. What?
We didn't know our family, like
Right.
blood
Sure.
family,
Sure.
Or
wasn't
you
really
knew
a thing.
and then they were gone.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you had to whoever Big Mama on the
Yeah.
thing.
That's why I
Hey,
don't want to be Big Mama.
Right.
Like from a family perspective, but
Sure.
feel
We
you,
get
I
it.
feel
We
you.
get
in
it.
the sidebar.
You don't have the elbows for that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't have the elbows.
Mm,
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, that's what I mean. In my head, that's what makes sense, and then
Yeah.
that's passed down
Yeah.
from generation to generation.
And when it's love, you know what I mean? Like, why would you ever question it?
yeah,
Like, it's not like it's like I don't like you, but
Yeah.
you're forced into being my cousin.
Right.
It's like the love goes so deep that it's like, yeah, we feel like family.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Yeah.
we are.
and for us, we didn't grow up close to our family, like geographically.
Right.
Like, they're all in North Carolina and Virginia. So the closest cousins we had were y'all and other
The Williamsons.
quote unquote fake cousins that
Yeah.
we picked up,
Yeah.
or not picked up, but that
That we
our
had.
the community that our parents created
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
our family.
Yeah.
Totally.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Me too.
I
Triumph will have
definitely
the same
plan to do
thing,
that. Yeah, for
But
sure.
it's actually funny. I just thought about who was I talking to? I don't remember, but I was just saying that we didn't grow up around our biological cousins because mom and dad moved to Nashville
Mm-hmm.
before we were born. But I was like, it's gonna be crazy, Triumph and Lexi's kids,
Yeah.
being able to actually grow up and be like, oh, my cousin. And you grew up similarly. Your cousins didn't live in. Didn't,
No.
Right?
They all lived out of state until we were adults.
Right.
Now I have like 2 cousins who are here, which is awesome.
Who?
Jamie Elizabeth.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Don't let him distract y'all.
Well, he's a little distracting.
It's hot. It's hot. Y'all go ahead. But I feel like, oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. But I feel like he's gonna ruin my mic. Y'all keep talking.
Okay, wait. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, most of my cousins were out of state as well, except for my cousins like y'all and the Williamsons.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's really important to have family, like, nearby as well. And so, yeah, growing up with y'all was, like, super awesome and important and, like, solidified a lot of, like, that family shit.
Yeah.
Of, like, the cousins who just were out.
So it doesn't feel like a lie. Like all of our promotion around the band and stuff has been like siblings, Darius and Zandy and cousin Jasmine.
Yeah.
I never felt like there was a secret, like we had a secret or something.
For sure.
It was just like that's literally all that I know.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But I do realize now, after the band, I had never considered it being weird until we were in interviews and people were like, "So whose moms are related?" And we're like, "Well,
So
our guests are or we'd be like, "What side?" But
Yeah.
but we say mom side.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
mom side.
because that's how it was."
yeah.
But I'm saying like nobody ever questioned it, at least to my face,
Yeah.
until we were in the band.
Yeah.
I think culturally that's just a very normal
Very
Yeah.
normal.
thing.
My guitar student last night, I was teaching, and I was like, "Did you grow up near your family?" And she was like, "Well, my uncle, who's not really my uncle, she's black, who's not really my uncle, but my
Yeah.
dad, our dads are best friends. Like those are my cousins. I grew up next to them." And I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Like so, other people do it too. It's not just
Yeah.
us. But anyway, I feel like that's a fun fact that you guys should know. Yes, we're cousins. No, we're not cousins. Okay.
And yes, we're cousins.
And yes, we're cousins.
Yes,
So
we're
don't-
cousins, but like for real. At the
Yeah.
end of the day,
Yeah, at
you
the
know?
very end
I
of the
think
day.
that's the interesting thing of like how deep it really goes.
Right.
It's like it's not just a friend.
No.
Like,
And that's not just
this
a
is
friend.
my
For real, my
family.
cousin.
That's like for real, my
So-
family.
Yeah.
Don't,
I literally lived here in this house with them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my cousin.
Yeah.
It was interesting too how much of a branding thing the family dynamic became because we were so young when we started the band. The family band did not sound like a
No, please
Like,
don't say
the
that.
word family
Yeah,
band
we're
was like
Partridge
Nothing.
Family.
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah.
like,
Or because we're black, people kept saying the Jackson 5, which is very cool. But I just didn't. They were cool. I didn't think like I wanted Family Band, the New Respects, to be
Yeah.
like the brand,
but people still say it's cool,
which is great.
yeah,
I love
I'm like,
that.
Great.
I get it now more from a relational standpoint because a lot of people don't get along with their families.
That's true.
So it's like a thing of like, people are like, so what's been the fight? Or like, how often do you guys, get into it? And it's been like,
But I think, the beauty of it is that because we're family, it just resolves way quicker.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like, I don't know, you don't talk about it
right,
like you would with a friend,
right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're kind of forced to
Yeah.
have the conversations. Otherwise, it's just I'm gonna see you at the cookout, or I'm gonna see you at the
I'ma
at
see
the
you.
house. Yeah.
Right.
So it kind of doesn't leave room for that, which has been overall good. We definitely have like ups and downs with it. But yeah, I'm thankful. I don't know any other way, so this is all I'm used to. But
Totally.
I'm grateful for it.
And I think too, like with the Colony House boys and stuff like that, we were very used to seeing siblings and
Yeah,
people that they're related to, like make music together.
Yeah.
What?
nothing.
What's that?
I'm minding my own business.
But you looking at me laughing?
I want to laugh.
I know, like we all want to laugh.
No, that's not a public thought.
Secret.
Yeah, save it for later.
But anyway, so that's what I'm saying. The family band thing, I understand older that it could be a cool thing. But when people said it, it felt almost like, no, don't do that. We want to be cool.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
we were
Like,
trying. We were really determined to be cool at the top of
Leather
our
jacket.
It's just
leather
never
jackets,
cool when you
black.
try.
Yeah,
I had a hard eyeliner.
Mm.
Hard. Yep.
hard.
Hard. Just.
All black everything. Yeah, we were gonna be rock and roll
Yeah.
Negroes for sure.
Hey! Yeah.
women.
But yeah, we grew up. We grew out of that.
Somebody, I would do it if I wasn't rocking Triumph, but somebody, tie that into family. The song.
Tie what into family?
All the stuff we've been talking about?
So then, turn it into
So,
family.
You could have just said. You could have just said something instead of saying tie into family.
Well,
you
it's pretty straightforward. I'd have been like this. You know what I mean?
So that's what I'm saying. You could have just done it instead of saying tie it in.
I was thinking because I already gave the point that somebody was gonna do it.
I was thinking about it, then I got distracted.
Okay. Well, let's. So family, which reminds me.
But this little nigga was on.
I know we
can
jump
say,
into.
Well, you just did. Honestly, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, but
This
it
is our
is what
podcast,
it is.
Cast Pod.
No, yeah, you were. Oh, that's what you were saying
That's
about
what I was gonna say.
that I had him the day after the song came out.
No, I was gonna say he's on the record.
He is on the record. If you listen very carefully to the last 15 seconds, something like
outro.
Yeah.
There's a little heartbeat, which is kind of
Definitely
crazy
have me
that
weeping.
that heart
his.
and that's his heartbeat, and he's right here with us.
that. I will say that there's been some moments where I'm like being pregnant and having him almost feel like two separate things.
Sure.
Like when I look at him, I don't think you were in my body. Like that's a
Wow.
weird. That's a crazy.
That is crazy.
You grew inside
Pregnancy
of me.
is a crazy thing.
Truly is.
I can't believe. Yeah,
Darius was in the room, and when
You
I
were
was
in the room?
not when he came out.
not when he came out.
But when she was going through it, I
Wow,
was up in there for a
Darius.
second.
The whole family kind of came through, pulled up a little bit. So, well, obviously not Shannon because she doesn't live here, but and
Ashley pulled up
Came
when he was
after,
born.
yeah.
because she was at work.
Was anybody besides Tavia in the room when he came out?
Mom,
Wow.
not dad, just mom, Tavia, me. But then the crazy thing is, there's like multiple like nurses and stuff that come in. So there's like there's a doctor who delivers, then, and I'm not gonna remember everything because it's a bit of a whirlwind.
Sure.
I'm sure.
But there's like another nurse for me, like monitoring because my blood pressure was kind of all over the place, so monitoring me. And then there's like 2 nurses for him.
Yeah.
And then there's like a nurse also who, when he came out, because I tore a bit, who like with the doctor helped stitch me up. So there was like quite a few people in there. But as far as who's related to me,
Yeah.
it was just
Did that feel weird?
the stitches.
No. Have being so many people, or you just in the war zone?
At that
You
point,
soldier.
whatever, whoever can come in.
Yeah, whoever's
I don't
gonna get
care.
this baby out.
Yeah.
Word.
Whatever. And they told you.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, they swarmed in or anything. It was like a couple people will come in. They introduced the nurses and everything
Yeah.
before I started pushing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, his heartbeat. But
Yeah.
it's like a kind of it feels like 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a full circle. I did not do this on purpose. It was very much just an accident. But on the top of the song, it's our grandfather.
Which we can go into the more chosen.
Yeah, that's another chosen family situation. My mom grew up in LA, and she was taken in by this family who's now just grandpa, grandma.
Wow.
And he's the oldest family member that we have.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he's the youngest who wasn't even on Earth yet. And so it's just like kind of all encompassing the whole thing.
Sheesh.
Which I think the older I get, the more like harder it hits, like documenting family and like capturing it. So that was like part of the reason that I wanted so much family
sound.
Yeah, sounds and stuff on the record.
Talk about that a little bit.
So I just got a bunch of different sound bites from like Thanksgiving and playing cards and Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's all that like noise you hear in the background.
Uncle David on the family.
Oh yeah.
Did he send you a video saying that?
No, but I just texted him and he sent me a voice memo.
Okay.
He's like, I don't really know.
Uncle David is my dad.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what you want, so I'll try a few.
Couple options.
He had the voice memo?
yeah. So it's like one's like
Family.
Oh, he told me about that.
Family. Family.
And I'm like, there it is. So I got different layers, different options.
That is great.
But yeah, I just wanted it to feel like you were hanging out in the room with our family.
Yeah.
And it makes it richer because I'm kind of thinking future.
Yeah.
Like when we play it for our kids and grandkids in the future.
Yep.
Like, you hear all that? That's Uncle
That's crazy.
Jojo, and that's Auntie Jasmine, and that's
Especially the
Triumph, who's like 18
the oldest
now,
one
or,
now, yeah.
one of the older
Yeah.
cousins.
Especially for that intro with Granddad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, by the time Trent is 18, he probably won't be here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But you can hear him.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like stories, but it's like you can hear what his voice sounded like. I've had a lot of people say, I love the MLK bite. And I'm like, well,
That is not.
it's not Martin Luther King Jr. It is special. Family, the song, was written by Jasmine in totality when you were 20?
2021, one of those ages.
Yeah, okay. I thought you meant the year. I was
Yeah,
like,
sorry, not 2021.
I was like, no, you weren't 20 in 2021.
Yeah.
And it's different. Like, it's very acoustic, very,
Yeah.
almost like the piano section that's
Yeah.
in the song was kind of how the whole song felt.
Totally.
So then, why did you write?
So
It seems like a planned question. I'm really just trying to
no,
ask.
I wrote it. I was literally just thinking about it on the way here. I wrote it in the Franklin house, which is crazy. I know.
Dang, That's
Yes,
crazy.
It was actually right after my parents got divorced. So I was like over here a lot too. Yeah. So I think it was like a little bit of like a kind of like a
Prayer
hopeful and a
almost.
prayer kind of a thing of like I know I honestly didn't think about it until I
That's
was driving.
crazy.
Whereas this thing of like one day family is gonna feel the way that it used to feel like when we're all like together.
Dang, that's heavy.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
Not crazy.
Yeah.
And so much beautiful things have happened, like even after that season that was like kind of sad. Yeah. But that song, yeah, it came during that season where we were like all in the Franklin house.
That's kind of rocking my roll right now. That's
It kind of rocked
crazy.
mine too. It's crazy.
now what holiday did you write this about?
Like y'all were all singing in the kitchen
Right,
together.
we were all
Man.
That's cool though. That's beautiful.
yeah.
Sometimes like the most, is this not gonna work? Okay. I kind of sometimes the most beautiful prayers are kind of hopes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I think that they're memories.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like hope for the future.
Sheesh.
Okay, so yeah, you wrote that, and then we were on the label.
I think we were. Yeah. If not, we are right about to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember Andrew Osenga, who was our first A&R, sobbing.
Yeah, he literally
When
did
you
like
heard it.
that.
And we played it a handful of times.
Yeah.
But never like.
I don't
a
think
lot.
when we were I don't think we had really started touring yet.
Yeah, and definitely we didn't record it on the label.
No.
I think just when we were attached to the label, they just had a specific thing they were looking for.
Yeah.
And it kind of shifts your mindset to be looking for things that encapsulate the branding of
Yeah.
who you are and where you want to go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of times, great songs kind of get thrown to the side because they don't like always have like as much energy as like it's not like catchy
Sure.
or singable, which is not always the truth. Like number ones, I was talking to Drew Holcomb recently, and he was like all his biggest stuff like doesn't have a chorus, which is crazy to
Oh,
think about.
wow.
Like his biggest songs. It's just cool to know that like music still
stands.
wins, and
Yeah.
But that makes sense why we didn't go with that song at the time.
But it's kind of awesome because I feel like it means more in this season
For
than it would
sure,
have then.
yeah.
Even though it's like family was a lot to us then, but it's like
We've
this
gone
is
through some
so-
stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
I
even
literally gave birth to a
You
child.
really gave birth?
out
It's
your body.
crazy.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
I know, because Zandy really was on some like no kids
No.
for
Yeah.
now.
For now.
Yeah.
I've always, wanted kids eventually, but definitely not in this season. But God had other plans.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't say that lightly. A lot of people are like, God had other plans, as in they didn't know how to use protection.
Mm.
That's not
She
how
knew.
we
Okay.
were. That's not how we were.
That wasn't
It was
wasn't
a
it.
invitation into parenthood that we ended up taking, and I'm thankful for it. Like
Mm-hmm.
he'll only be a month old tomorrow, so I'm still very new in it. But the song, like you said, the song does mean more because we've lived more life.
Yes.
And like even having that song come out and his heartbeat be on it, and the next day actually hold him,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like you can't plan for that kind of stuff.
You can't.
And he made it so real. Like the words are like so they just mean something. And I think that's the beauty of music too, where it's just like you can write something in one season right after a divorce and it come out right after
New Life.
Yeah, New Life, or right before New Life. And it's like the same words, the same melody means something different. Well, I guess different melody, which we could go into Darius. Jab's been writing the song, we having it for years. And then when we were deciding to put out new music, we're like, okay, let's start kind of with like a holiday thing.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, let's revamp sonically what this song sounds like.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting the voice memo and I was like, what? Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, how did you hear it like you did?
Yeah.
And like eventually what the song sounded like.
That ideas are weird. Like it's definitely like a outer
Alien. I'm just kidding.
inspiration. Like it's not like I don't feel like our ideas are ours.
Sure.
Like they're coming from God, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Because we're not that creative, I don't think.
We're
like
limited.
we just have a limited resources. But that is just what I heard in my head. And that's also why it's like hard to explain, because it's that's literally just what I heard.
So you're saying you heard the original song and then you heard what is now out.
Pretty much. Like I was thinking, how can we put this song to be more like TNR-ish and like guitars, and I wanted it to like have a little more of a groove. And so then it was just like that.
Because I guess the song by itself sounded like Jasmine. You know what I mean? In her voice. And now you're just putting it in all of our voices.
Yeah.
Mad cool.
Yeah. That is, I mean,
That's a
I
gift.
will die on this hill, but Darius is the most creative person ever.
I know.
And he's always like, what? And I'm like, whatever, Darius. Like,
That's
let me.
the worst part is like at least have that attitude about
I
it.
know.
You know?
All the visuals you see, Darius.
But I think that is why I do feel weird about it. Is because like it doesn't feel like me.
I see what you're saying.
It's just like
a humble
God
man.
knew he could give.
just
right.
just a resource to like get it out into the
That's
world.
real. And that, I mean, that is true. I agree with you. Like, I feel like all of our ideas are coming from God.
Yeah.
And it does take skill to communicate what you hear and get it to the place where other people can hear it too.
Yeah.
Because I have multiple ideas, and then I'd be like, okay, so ding, 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 ding.
Sound just like that. Ding,
Exactly.
ding, ding, ding.
And I'm like, that is not how I heard it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But in order to hear and then communicate, that's a
Yeah.
skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Okay, so tell us about the production process. Well,
That was just a lot of time in my room, just like making stuff up. Like a lot of times I'm chasing sounds that I can't hit necessarily, so then I land on something that is different.
which is cooler.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about cooler all the time, because sometimes in my head I'm like, nah, this would be sweet if I can get it like this. But yeah, that's something I'm having to like get more comfortable with as we're producing our own stuff more, is just like realizing that we have a voice, I have a voice, and getting used to hearing it versus trying to emulate something else and like hitting it.
And if it sounds like us, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's been hard. Like wanting it, like hearing like a Noga Era's track and being like, oh, I want to sound like that.
Yeah.
And then we do something and we sound like us, and I'm like, dang, man.
Still
sound
sound
like
like the
Noga.
new
Yeah.
specs.
I'm trying to sound like her.
I was talking to
Yeah.
Daniela the other day, and she was like, since you started doing stuff, it sounds like us for the
Oh,
first
wow.
time ever, which is like,
Thank you so much, kind soul.
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, that's heartwarming.
Yeah.
I think we kind of got to that place. It was like, what works live and what connects live is us.
Right.
And so just wanting to figure out how to infuse every track with as much us as we can.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of my thought process in like producing our records right now, is like, how can we get as much us on the track as possible?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like, we want it to sound like good and have like a palatable experience to it, but at the same time just be like the equivalent of plopping all of our listeners in this room with us. That's what we want our records to feel like now.
Which I
so
think
that's
you
what we're
did a
chasing.
great job with that on Family.
Thanks.
Especially for that to be our first release of the year and kind of just setting a new trajectory of like where we want the new respects to go. You did good.
Thank you.
I had very little to do with this song. I keep telling people. I'm like, Jasmine, it's Jasmine and Darius, so I'm family. And,
20 years ago, me.
20 years ago?
10 years. I can't do math.
Oh, yeah, 10 years ago. But I'm saying, and I was just talking to Drew and Ellie actually about your songwriting, and I'm like, it's just so good.
Thank you.
Like, there's not a lot of people who have songs written 10 years ago that still hold up. Because it could just be like, I was 20 and I thought, and One Direction was huge, and so I wrote this song that sounds like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying every song you ever wrote, stands, but I will say there's a lot. Yeah. A lot of them.
A lot of them have legs.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, y'all.
So that speaks to you as a writer, and then getting to the point where you can communicate the idea that you hear so that everybody can hear it. That speaks to you as a producer. Yeah. And then, guys, for this one, I just kind of, take the credit.
Made a baby.
Yeah, I was very pregnant at the time. I played bass on this record.
Mm-hmm.
Darius did play the guitars.
Doin on keys.
Doin on keys, and Troy.
Troy,
right?
yeah, and Jeremy Latito played. Yeah, I think that was another conscious thing. It's just getting as many homies and friends and that we invited
Scott
into our
recorded
world.
Jasmine's vocal.
That's right.
Yeah,
on it because it just felt right. Like I didn't want it just to be us.
Which goes back into the chosen family thing.
Yeah,
it's like you're hearing the family that we've chosen over the years and the family that's chosen us. It does go both ways.
Yeah.
Like we're very fortunate to have people who invest in the music but also just invest in us. And Colony House took us on tour.
Yeah.
Jeremy helped develop us basically.
Yeah, he raised us musically.
Yeah.
Dewan raised us spiritually.
I still do stuff production wise. I'm like, that's a straight bite from Jeremy Latito.
Jeremy Latito.
He's the best.
Yeah.
I remember I ran into him, this is months ago now, or probably at least a year ago because I wasn't even pregnant yet. But at, what's the place in East Nashville? Taco place.
Moss Tacos?
No, it's, I can't
East
think
Nashville?
of it. Yeah. It's like Inglewood. I can't think of the name of it.
Garden Fresh?
No, that's
Garden
Madison.
Fresh. Take that out. People can't go there.
But anyway, he was like, "Who's producing y'all stuff now?" And I was like, "We're gonna do it." And he was like, "Very good."
Oh.
And I was like,
"Oh, wait, I want to cry."
I know. And I was like, "Oh, good. Okay, good." Felt like telling your dad.
Yes.
Like, what do you think?
Hey, Dad.
But yeah, it's. I like that we started there. It's feeling like obviously even with having music with just the three of us, which we've done before with Don't Panic, but Lexi was still involved in that. Right?
Yeah, that was her last project.
Yeah. So Family would be the first one that's just been the three of us, right?
Don't worry.
Don't Worry did come out. You're right.
Don't Panic. Lexi was okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't Panic the EP.
Mm-hmm. And then
Lexi. Don't worry first single.
Yeah.
Which is also a good little phrase to us.
My gosh.
But then we followed up with Family. It just feels right.
Yeah.
And it's feeling right in hindsight, which is good. Because sometimes in the moment we're like, is this?
Yeah.
So then to look back and be like, no, okay, that was the right.
And
move.
hindsight is 2020.
Yeah. So praise God for that.
Yeah. By the skin of our teeth.
I know.
Wow.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
One song at a time.
One song at a time.
One baby at a time.
Maybe at a time.
I'm curious to see what touring is going to be like with Little Man.
Oh, man.
You'll see.
More family.
Yes. He's going to be a little
see.
tour
I
kid.
know.
He's going to be like you.
Yeah. You're going to turn out great.
Coming to a city near you, Triumph.
Oh, man.
We have what? What's our first show? Do you guys remember where?
Oh, wow. That's our time. It's been real. Thanks for listening.
That's real. Okay, 30 minutes. We don't want to be long-winded.
No.
So,
I feel like we got what we needed.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks
great.
for listening.
Bye.
Love you guys.
If you like what you see,
Turn off the TV and do it.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Come on and zoom. Come on.
I really
and
wanted to be
zoom.
on Zoom as a child.
Yeah. Shh, Jasmine, it's over.
I really did. So bad.